Hello, everybody. Reality6 here, and welcome to something a little different again. I just made the Air Assault video, me watching the Business Insider version of Air Assault School at Fort Campbell, and it was pretty fun to kind of go back and, you know, relive those experiences. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to go do a basic training one. Now, I found another one of it's like Business Insider documentaries. It's not very long, it's 13 minutes, and it's what recruits go through at boot camp. And the very first the very first frame of the entire video, I think, pretty much sums up the entire basic training experience. I do want to say two things. One, this is supposed to be at Fort Benning. It's supposed to be infantry. And two, well, I guess a couple things. This dude's PC is like super ate up. I'm not really quite sure what's going on with this thing, but it looks like a baseball cap. So he got too big of a hat and his head's sticking through the top of it too much, or got it pulled down too far or something. And then this drill sergeant, which is supposed to be an infantry drill sergeant, interesting enough, is not infantry. He does not have a blue disc that will be around this gold icon here on his campaign hat. He could be a Green Beret. He could be. If you're a Green Beret, you're not infantry, so you don't actually get the little blue disc. So I doubt that. I doubt he's a Green Beret, but I just thought that was kind of interesting. First frame, first point of reference, hat's all fucked up. Kid looks tired. No blue disc around campaign hat. So let's see what we got.
Why are you moving? Why are you moving? Huh? Huh? Huh?
Okay, that's a perfect frame to freeze on. That sucks. That kid's in freaking shock. I did not have females when I was going through basic training. This is obviously a lot newer of a video. When I went through, the combat arms was still like segregated men and women. Women could not join. Since then, they could. I went through basic training from July to November of 2013, right after I graduated high school. I was 18. Went to Fort Benning, which is where this is at. Branched infantry as a enlisted soldier, which is, I'm thinking, what this is as well. Not a great time. I would not recommend to a friend. Definitely taught me a lot of skills, a lot of perseverance, a lot of discipline moving forward. It was definitely a rough time. I know it's gotten a lot easier since then. It's also gotten longer. My total, it's called OSUT, One Station Unit Training, and it's basic training and AIT together, which is like your basic training and then your advanced individual training, where most people go and like learn a specific job set or skill set after basic training. OSUT, which is like a lot of the combat arms positions, it's all like together at the same place. So you keep like the same class, the same barracks, the same drill sergeants, the same everything, and you just go through. But when I did it was like 15, 16 weeks, and now I think it's like 22 weeks total. So it's quite a bit longer. That would suck. I'm glad I definitely went through when it was a little shorter. But yeah, this kid's face pretty much sums up the little first day experience.
This is Army Boot Camp.
I hate the fact they call it boot camp.
Before they join the United States Army, all recruits have to graduate from.
That dude has a super decked out weapon system. That's a saw. Wow, I am shocked. It also has two barrels. Is he carrying the extra barrel? Loose like that? That's weird. But yeah, I mean, it's got a sight on there, and it's got like a foregrip, which is sick. And then he's actually got like an actual like belt holder for the ammunition. So that's pretty neat. We didn't have that. We just had like basic ass weapons with no sights or attachments.
22-week program known as One Station Unit Training.
OSUT.
Also known.
Yeah, look at that gun, dude. That thing is wicked. You also have roster numbers. You can see it on their helmet on the front and back. You don't really have a name the entire time you're there. You have like a roster number. I was 240. I was Charlie Company 219, so Charlie 219, second platoon. And my color was also yellow. You can see that on the saw, on like the barrel handle, and then the front kind of heat shield. They have the yellow tape that probably signifies what platoon they are. Oh yeah, he's got it on his glasses too. So you can see on the actual right side of his eye pro, he's got like a little yellow tape. So it's just to kind of signify what platoon they belong to. So looks like 3-5 whatever. He's probably 3rd platoon. Their color's probably yellow.
As OSUT. It happens here at Fort Benning,
which changed to Fort Moore, and I believe is going back to Benning. So that's cool.
182,000-acre military installation that straddles the Alabama-Georgia border about 100 miles southwest of Atlanta.
Yeah, you fly into Atlanta and then you bus down to Fort Benning.
Every year, more than 18,000 soldiers graduate before joining the more than 470,000 people actively serving in the Army.
13,
Wow.
14, 15.
Although
Oh, dude. Oh my dude, counting off in the Army is like one of the worst things. I mean, you sometimes do not understand how people can't count. It'll be like 1, 2, 3, 10, and everyone's like, "Oh, dude, like why?" Like I don't understand. Or they're not paying attention and it gets to them and then everybody loses count, especially when you're tired. Unfortunate.
most of the recruits that we saw during our time there were male. Recruits trained together in gender-integrated platoons.
See, when I went through, women, like I said, were not allowed in the infantry. They are now. So that's going to be a little different.
These young men and women that volunteer to serve, they show up to us as civilians, and then we take them through a transformative process to turn them into soldiers.
You just go to the position of attention and you stay in position of attention.
On a rain-soaked week in February, we spent 4 days inside the Army's Maneuver Center of Excellence, which trains soldiers to serve in the infantry and armor branches.
One of the very first things you do is what they were doing there was like weapons qualification. So you have to like get familiar with your weapon system. You have to zero it. You have to qualify with it. And that's one of the first things you do. And you carry your rifle like everywhere, especially in the infantry. Cannot speak for other basic trainings, other branches, but we carried ours a lot. This actually looks a lot like the rifle I had. Mine did not have a PEC 15 on it, which is the little laser IR laser sight there in the front. It's like gray up by where his left thumb is on top. I did have a little CCO, which is the sight that he has. He's looking down right now on his weapon. And what's funny is ours was, I'm guessing it's very similar, but you're really worried because it's like a sensitive item, and you can see that it's got 550 cord like wrapped around it. That's pretty common as like a fail safe. If it were to come loose or whatever, it's not going to fall off too much. So it's kind of funny to see that still.
We saw different companies at various stages of training. On day 1, new infantry recruits on a bus from the Atlanta airport arrive at the 30th AG Battalion headquarters, where all new recruits are received.
Okay, so yes, I went to 30th AG as well from Atlanta. The feelings that you have on this bus are very real at this point. These kids are in a world of hurt, or about to be. They're nervous. One of the best pieces of advice I got leading into this was do not sleep the night before. And as tough as that sounds, and it might not be that tough if you're really nervous, you might not sleep, but sleep the entire way there. So like I slept on the plane, I slept on this bus, and so when you get there, we got there like really late, like really, really late at night. And so since we got there really late at night, everybody else was like really tired, and I was like, we're good. And then we got to kind of go to bed for a few hours and kind of get up and start again. But yeah, this is tough.
Listen up. You only got one to hear from you at this point is yes, drill sergeant, no drill sergeant. You understand? Yes, drill sergeant. When I tell you, you will pass your folders to the front.
The minimum age
your
to
paperwork.
enlist in the Army is 17, and the maximum age is 35. The
I was
base
18.
salary for an entry-level private is about $20,000 a year.
That is very low, I must admit. I was a private first class going, so I was an E3 when I was going to basic training, because in the Guard, I was able to do stripes for buddies and stripes for skills, which are two ways to kind of like either help recruit some folks and then show a certain level of skill set, and you got a promotion for each. So I went to basic training as an E3, which I'm sure a lot of these kids aren't.
Go! 30 seconds. Hurry up, find your back.
Once they're off the bus, the first order of business is establishing the code of conduct.
Because I promise you, if you don't pay attention to what I'm about to tell you, you're going to make your Army career very short. You treat
Yeah, these drill sergeants are like about to get off the trail is the way I understand it. The ones that are at like 30th AG, we call it reception. They're not as intense with you as the drill sergeants at your actual basic training are going to be. This 30th AG reception is supposed to be like a 7-day, it's supposed to be like a week-long in-dock period where you get all your equipment, you get your shots, you go through medical, like you get everything you need to lead up to going to basic training, which is actually really difficult. And I'm not really sure why, but when I got there, they stuck me in a group that like went to basic training after a few days. And so there was only a handful of us left that had to wait. So like we got there, we joined, let's say, Charlie Company or something. Charlie Company like moved out. Actually, it was Bravo. Yeah, it was actually Bravo. Bravo. I think it was Bravo Oscar 111 or something. So I joined Bravo Company, and then since we had just got there, we were with them for like 3 or 4 days, and then they all picked up and went to basic training, and then we got a huge shipment of guys in, and then we joined them. So there was like probably 20 of us that were like a Bravo roster number, and like everybody else was Charlie. It was really weird.
everybody with dignity and respect, regardless of.
But like I said, it's supposed to be like 7 days. I was there for like 10. I was very ready to get to basic training at that point because you're not really supposed to work out. It's just kind of like this weird limbo area where they don't want you getting hurt and they want you to get ready to go to basic training.
Race, religion, color, national origin, gender, sexual orientation, and all other protected categories. Yes? Yes, Drill Sergeant! Sexual assault is any unwanted physical contact in a sexual nature. So if you put your hands on another individual and you're not instructed to or you're not saving their life, and they file a sexual assault, and it comes down that you put your hands on this individual when you weren't supposed to, that is going to be on you.
That is 100% true. Don't touch people. The Army takes this very serious, as do most individuals in the Army. It's still like a problem, like military-wide, that I wish would stop, but unfortunately it won't. So you have to make these people very early. That's good that they're getting it literally right off the bus, that don't do this. Like, we're serious. We'll crush you. It's a really good message right off the rip.
You'll get kicked out of the military, and then you'll probably have to file as a registered sex offender. Do you understand? Yes,
Before they go inside, the new recruits learn some basic commands and standing positions.
Hut train time! Everyone look down at their toes. You should be able to fit a slice of pizza in between your toes.
That right there is the position of attention. Your feet at like a 45-degree angle. Your hands like holding like a what they call a roll of quarters, whatever, just like straight down at your side. So they're standing in the position of attention right now.
If you look around, they're gonna see you, cause you're taller than everyone else.
And railing into that guy because he's tall. When you're at the position of attention, you're supposed to like look straight forward. You're not supposed to have your eyes wandering. So they're basically saying that you can see he's head and shoulders above everybody else. So if he's looking around, his eyes will be a lot more visible to the instructors, and he'll get his ass chewed out, which is funny because I was at least top 4 tallest guys in my platoon, and I think I was the second tallest. It's like 6 foot. I don't think like when I was going to basic training, I was like 6'2", maybe 6'2", 6'3", and now I'm like 6'4". But yeah, I was like the second tallest guy in the platoon. And I know that because when you march at basic and the graduation, they put the 4 tallest guys in the front. It's like from tallest to shortest. And I was in the front second over. So yeah, I think I was the second tallest guy.
The recruits grab the snack that's waiting for them inside, consisting of a fruit cup, sunflower seeds, a granola bar, and a juice box.
Watch the video. Remain silent.
Since 1775, the Army has been the bearer of our nation's strength.
They're watching some
Every
moto
crisis
video
or conflict. Make
while
no
they eat.
mistake about it, the journey you are embarking upon will
Eat up,
not be
kids.
easy. But you wouldn't
Eat
be
up.
here if we didn't think.
One thing about basic training, I've never been so hungry in my life. I've never been so tired in my life. Like, there's a lot of parts of it where it just, where I don't even remember because I was literally so tired and so hungry. I probably would have hurt somebody for a granola bar, and I'm not even joking.
And couldn't meet the challenge.
Listen up for your last 4-year social.
After being welcomed, recruits begin what's known as processing, which
Yup.
can take 1 to 2 weeks before
Yeah,
their actual training begins.
I was there for 10 days, so I was right between the 1 week to 2 week thing.
In a little bit, we're giving you a period to go in a room by yourself.
First, they're given one last chance to discreetly dispose of prohibited contraband like drugs, alcohol, tobacco, and inappropriate photographs.
If any photo you possess on your phone is less than a bathing suit, you will not have it. You will delete them all.
What's weird is that they're having them delete pictures on their phone when they won't really have their phone very much. I mean, it's a new army, a new basic training, but I saw my phone in like 16 weeks like 3 times. So, I don't know.
Recruits get rid of contraband in an amnesty room,
Yeah.
where they dispose of it by throwing it down a metal chute.
Is anybody confused on what you can and cannot have?
The next morning, the recruits report to the barber shop,
Oh no.
where one barber has worked at Fort Benning for almost
I didn't even get to let him finish there, but he's worked there for almost 60 years. That's insane. So he probably cut my hair. So he's been cutting hair like almost since Vietnam, dude. Oh my god. That's insane. He has been cutting hair since Vietnam, right? Yeah, he's been cutting hair since fucking Nam. So what's funny is they have these clippers, and you can see there's like a hose attached to it. So it's literally like a suction, like a vacuum. As they shave your head, it's like vacuuming your head too. So there's no like clippings left over. So you can sit down and they can just like go over your head numerous times. There's no clippings to clean up, and they can just get one person in the chair, one after another.
almost 60 years.
I've been here ever since 1963.
Bro, that dude has been cutting hair since before Vietnam was really raging. Here at Fort Benning. That's insane.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
I should have been retired a long time ago, but I wake up in the morning now, I be wanting to come out here and go to work.
Recruits are issued uniforms. They receive a series of immunizations.
There's a lot of shots. There's a lot of immunizations. They give you a lot of. They draw a lot of blood. I remember they drew like 6 vials of blood or something from me, and I was knocking on the door, passing out. My vision was like this much. And they're like, "You okay?" Yeah. And then I'll be curious to see if they tell you about the peanut butter shot, which is the shot of penicillin they like shoot in your ass cheek. And it literally is like feels so thick. It feels like they're injecting you with like peanut butter, and it kind of hurts to sit on that side for a few days. So that's kind of funny.
Vaccines.
I don't even know where my basic training photo like this is. It's probably horrendous though. I was really skinny and awkward, and yeah.
And get their official photo taken, along with myriad housekeeping details that fill up their 1 to 2 week stay in processing.
So I go back a second.
Housekeeping details that fill up their 1 to 2 week stay.
So you spend a lot of time in these rooms. It's like this big open area with like these layers of chairs. You got to file in, and take a seat and wait your turn. A funny story is I remember when I was sitting here. You're supposed to be like looking through your stuff and studying the infantryman's creed and your warrior ethos and like stuff like you're supposed to know like basic training. As you can see, some of these kids are reading. And when I was there, a couple soldiers walked in, and they had this thing around their neck, and I was like, what the hell are they doing? And it turns out they were officer candidate school candidates that were there at Fort Benning doing like the active duty basic training that they have. I did mine at South Dakota for like a guard one, but the federal one is here at Benning, and I remember seeing them come in. It's called an ascot, but it's an ascot with like OCS logo on it. They came in, and there's like basically this big handkerchief thing that's like stuffed in their neck, and I was like, what the hell are they doing? That looks weird. And later down the road, I was like, oh, that's what they are. They're officer candidates. So
In processing.
bro, that guy is passing the fuck out. That is hilarious. You will. Oh no, I guess they're all kind of sitting like that. Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought they were. I mean, they all could be asleep. I'm not going to lie. You will find interesting ways to fall asleep. You'll be able to fall asleep in any position, even standing up, which I have not done, but the guy in front of me did, and he fell back and hit me in the face with his helmet because he fell asleep, and I saw him like waving back and forth, and yeah, cracked me around the nose.
That is until processing ends and the time for training finally arrives.
Man, some of these kids look super young. Okay, so I'm guessing this is them going to basic training. I guess I'll play it out here in a second. Like actually like picking up. This is them waiting outside with their equipment. They're being called off by name and where you're going, I would imagine.
We found a company of recruits about to begin training in the armor school.
Those are bridle.
These recruits are about to be picked up and taken to their barracks, where they'll reside for the rest of their training.
Okay. So here's a very common scene, right? Your basic training, the drill sergeants are out there. They yell for you to get on the bus. You get on the bus, you drive to your barracks, and it's called a shark attack, and you get fucked up. They like smoke the dog shit out of you forever, right? They're telling you to do impossible tasks. They're yelling. They're stressing you out, which I'm sure we'll see very shortly. What's funny is I did not do this. So you see all these guys are in like their military uniform, right? Their actual like, Army combat uniform. They had, I don't even remember if it was just my platoon, but specifically, I just know my platoon. We were outside in a formation with our PTs on. So like it was like a gray shirt and like black kind of shorts and like running shoes. And we had all of our stuff packed into these bags. And when the drill sergeants came out, so I'm guessing, I don't know if these are their drill sergeants here or if it's the drill sergeants for where they're going. But our drill sergeants came out that we were actually going to have for basic training. And I remember one guy came out and he was kind of short. And so I was like, oh no, like short guys usually have a problem. And I just remember he turned to the right, and not only was he short, he was also, special forces was on his left arm. And I was like, oh fuck. My senior drill sergeant was a Green Beret. And what's insane is we ran to basic training. Like, we did not get on a bus and get bussed to our barracks. We threw all of our bags in the back of a big like deuce and a half, which is kind of like a cargo truck. And then we ran in a formation to basic training in the heat of July. Well, I guess it was like August, the heat of kind of early August. And it was hot as shit. And we ran, I feel like forever to get there. But you get to your barracks and you're already exhausted. And then the shark attack begins, where they had all of our bags in like a big pile, and then they tell you to get your bags. But we'll probably get into that here in a second.
Let's go. You guys are going to the front bus. Go.
This is the last chance for recruits to change their minds before training begins.
What do you mean change their mind? They have an option right now to not go? I don't remember that being an option for us. I really don't. Another funny story is we had one kid, since this guy's quitting, that made me think of one. This guy showed up to basic training. I'm not even joking. He had the infantry crossed rifles tatted on his forearm prior to coming to basic training and earning his crossed rifles. And then he had a panic attack in the dining facility, the DFAC, at reception. And then he still thought he was going to basic training, and they would not let him. So they kicked him out. But this kid right here is talking to a chaplain. It looks like to me that's a lieutenant colonel, and it does not look like a rank on his hat. It looks like a cross. So to me, it looks like a chaplain.
Like one recruit who decided to stay behind.
I don't remember that being an option. I thought you had to go. It's crazy you even have that as an option, to be honest. You get to that point, and you're like, get on the bus, go to basic training, and then you quit. That's weird.
This
it's
bus
scary.
Ride from processing to their new barracks will be the most peaceful moments these recruits will experience for a while.
Didn't get that. We did ride on these buses a lot, the Bluebird buses, to like a lot of training events. And I will tell you, you will learn to be able to sleep on this bus in 30 seconds, even if it's like, we're just going to take a 5-minute drive down the road, which most of the time, if it was that close, we were rucking. But if it was any length of time, I would literally lay my head on my bag, my ruck, the window, and pass the fuck out. You got to take every chance you can get to fall asleep. So these guys are about to start, right? So they're really nervous, but a little later down the road, they'll be barely functioning and probably knocked out.
What happens next is known as the shark attack.
Here comes the shark attack. Yep, I did not have this. Getting off the bus and getting yelled at like this, right?
Everyone, you freaking go! Go! Run!
Yeah, we showed up and the truck was already parked there underneath our little this CTA company training area, and we had to unload the. I can't remember if we had to unload the bags or the bags were already unloaded, and then we just had to grab random bags. And they were like, "You have 30 seconds to find your bag." With all these green bags, and everybody's looks the same, and you don't know anything. You're just like grabbing some, and then they keep smoking you, and it's a great time.
They say what? Get your bags up right now! Get your bags up this way!
So none of these drill sergeants are infantry. I guess they did say armor, but that's still interesting. See, none of them have the little blue disc around the gold circle in front of their campaign hat.
Well, it's really just a little shock to the system, so we can break them down.
They can't really hit you, but what they can do is take that brim of the campaign hat and get right up in your shit.
To build them back up. We're breaking a lot of habits from the civilian world, and nothing better than a little shock to the system to establish that drill sergeant is in charge to let us start our training.
Pick up your bag and hold it!
The recruits spend much of the shark attack holding their heavy rucksacks above their heads.
This sucks because it's heavy as shit, and you're not supposed to like rest it on your head, which is really hard to do because it's heavy. You're holding it above your head, and you do it for a while, so your arms kind of get tired. Great time.
Which takes a physical toll.
Yep.
So difficult! You can't pick that bag up. You decided to join the army and you can't pick that bag up. Right side bag.
Oh, this guy again.
After about 20 minutes, the intensity begins to subside. And the drill sergeant's tone changes.
We only produce the best soldiers in the United States Army.
Before training officially begins.
So you saw the row of drill sergeants there. I was hoping they were going to show that, but my platoon had 3, then 1 went to a school, and so we got another one. But yeah, I think all the platoons had 3 drill sergeants, and mine was like the senior for the company because he was an E7.
After the shock and awe of the shark attack, things do appear to calm down.
What? These guys are having way better of a time than they should be. Like, I don't... Every one of these dudes are smiling, and I don't think I smiled for 16 weeks. I don't... Yeah, this is crazy.
It's a video. Oh, is it a video?
It's a movie.
Movie, yeah. Alpha 347. I always wanted to be a star.
We found this group of infantry soldiers in week 11 of their training, practicing on the firing range. The mood was much more relaxed.
Try to get it.
On the range, it might be because the drill sergeants are out there like running the range, and so you actually have the opportunity to kind of like stay in your little training area until it's like time to go shoot. They're not really messing with you too much when you're out in the field like this, like shooting and around weapon systems and stuff. It's I guess a little bit more lax. I still wouldn't have been like all huddled around like that, smiling and laughing, but you're not getting messed with as much.
And their conversations with their drill sergeants are conducted at normal volumes. Like
True.
when this drill sergeant educated the recruits on the meaning of the military expression, 8 up.
Is a piece of 8-up gum good? You don't want something that's 8-up, right? You want something fresh. You break the seal, it smells like olive oil, right? Okay.
That dynamic changes.
8 up, soup sandwich. There's a whole bunch of terms that are all fucked up. Foobar. You got fucked up beyond all recognition. Foobar. Like there's a ton of them, but yeah, 8 up is pretty common.
Because we want the soldiers to become more critical thinkers.
See, this guy is infantry, and I can see he's got the combat infantry badge above his air assault wings, which is what I made the last video about. But now you can see the blue disc around the gold in his helmet, or his hat.
At that point, we are turning into more coaches and mentors. We dial it back a little bit, so we don't want them frightened. We want them to be comfortable and in a state of mind that is receptive to learning and performing at that level.
You were in a constant state of fear. and respect for these individuals. But yeah, they do kind of dial it back so they can teach, and some are better at teaching than others. But that's the case with everyone. Oh, ammo detail, love that.
241 hours of infantry OSUT are devoted to marksmanship.
We spent a lot of time
Recruits
shooting.
Fire about 2,500 rounds using the M4 carbine.
Yep, they use the same thing.
As well as
So they're doing right now is BRM, which is just basic rifle marksmanship. I don't think we really messed too much. Like, this dude's carrying the saw like that. We didn't really mess with qualifying with the weapon systems like this with the machine guns. I do not. Well, you say that, and there's actually an old picture of me when I'm like clearing a weapon at basic. So maybe we did a little bit. Again, like I said, my memory's a little foggy because I was sleep deprived and very tired.
the M249
That's a
squad
saw.
automatic weapon, or SAW.
We create lethality. We create expert marksmen at their individual weapons because as an infantry soldier, that's what we're asking them to do.
Yeah, makes sense. Oh my god, dude. Are we about to do the gas chamber? This sucks. There's actually a picture of me coming out of the gas chamber.
Recruits get one of the most painful parts of training out of the way early.
Yeah.
Once we check your seal, you will not touch your promat.
This group of infantry recruits was exposed to CS gas, or tear gas, in week 1 of their training.
You're going to continue to file in until we tell you to stop. You're going to place your back against the wall.
The recruits spend about 5 minutes inside the gas hut.
So when you're in there, you have your mask on, and then they like make you take, and it's like CS gas. It's like getting maced, but like it's just in the air, like some like crowd dispersion. I don't even know what the CS stands for, but yeah, it's like a really hot burning mace kind of stuff that's in the air. It fucks you up, and then you have to like. So when you're wearing your mask, it protects you, but the second you take it off, you inhale that stuff and you start coughing and you can't breathe and everything hurts and you start snotting all over the place. And they make you, like, you can say the infantryman's creed or answer specific questions, or maybe they just, I don't know. So they can fuck with you a lot of different ways inside the chamber. And then you got to come out and wave your arms around, which is very interesting. Yeah, see how they're waving? Looks like a bunch of birds. Yeah, see that guy right here, this Johnson dude? Like, this big old fucking, like, spit rocket or snot rocket or something coming out. That's actually... Oh, this guy over here, too, yeah. A couple of them are like that, and that's pretty common. I think in the picture of me, I'm not doing that, but I very easily could have been.
On exiting the gas hut, the recruits are told to flap their arms like birds.
Yeah.
To remove excess gas from their uniforms.
Yeah, you gotta wave it out. That's what they say. You gotta, like... Because it builds up in your uniform, supposedly, and you gotta, like, wave that shit out so it's not, like, constantly, like... kind of billowing up at you.
According to a drill sergeant, the effects of the gas begin to wear off after about 4 minutes.
Yep. It's pretty shitty. Oh,
Some
combatives.
training moves indoors, like combatives, where recruits learn hand-to-hand self-defense tactics.
We're trying to teach them achieve a dominant body position. So get out of one negative position and then switch roles so they end up having the upper hand in a fight.
So combatives was always kind of fun because it's like they are now. They're in like kind of a dressed down uniform with like no boots. You actually get to like kind of go like that to the DFAC, like the dining facility for food. You get to wear like boots and like you strip off all your patches and flags and name tapes and everything. Like it's called sterilized. And I'm pretty sure you even turn your blouse like inside out or something if I remember correctly. But I hope they go into the clinch drill a little bit. If not, I'll expand upon that. But combatives was always kind of fun.
During combatives training, recruits warm up with a particularly painful-looking exercise, referred to as the EO. While
shrimp. That's what they say. You got to shrimp.
Laying on their backs, they have to engage their core to wiggle across the entire room.
They use their momentum, shoulder blades, their core, to help them create space, warm up.
So these guys are all like inside this weird auditorium. We were like outside. The area we had was like open on all sides, and it was like 2 stories tall, but the bottom layer was called the company training area. So it was like open with all the barracks above us. So we did ours just on like wrestling mats that they laid out on the actual company training area.
The body.
Recruits work up a major appetite during training.
Okay, so they're not going to go into the combatives thing. So it's something called the clinch drill. And you have to do this thing where you call up, like, it's called obtain the clinch. So basically you have to do like 2 or 3 different things where you start like I think right, like nestled right up against the drill sergeant. You stand maybe like arms kind of a little bit away, and then there's another one where you have to walk like 5 or 6 feet towards the drill sergeant. You cannot hit. They have boxing gloves and they are beating the shit out of you. And your whole thing is you're supposed to like obtain the clinch. It's like 2 or 3 ways. You can like pin their arms at their side or just kind of do something so they can stop hitting you in the face. And I remember that the guy I went up against that punched the shit out of me, he was a Green Beret, and I pinned his arms above his head, but he was kind of a short guy, different guy than my drill sergeant. He like, I guess his friend or something, but his arms were like above his head, pinned straight up, and he was like hitting me with his wrists, and I didn't know what to do because like I couldn't pin his arms anymore, and he was like punching me with his wrist with the boxing gloves on. So it was a great time. And then we had one kid accidentally swing on a drill sergeant, and the same Green Beret drill sergeant punched the dude in the face and snapped his nose, and blood just started spraying, and the kid was trying to like run away, and the drill sergeant was just like pursuing. It was pretty brutal.
But Fort Benning is big, and they're not always within range of the dining facility.
MREs.
In their training in the field, recruits are issued MREs, which stands for Meal
Ready to Eat.
Each comes with an entree, like this vegetarian pasta with taco sauce, along with an assortment of items like mixed fruit, an energy bar, and this instant French vanilla cappuccino. Recruits just add water, shake it up, and enjoy.
So the MRE is full of a ton of calories. You're only supposed to have, like, I think it's got like around 2,000 calories in it. You're supposed to be able to eat like 1 or 2 a day and be fine. It stops you up really bad, so using the bathroom is like a problem later. I think it would be kind of funny and fun to make a video for this channel where I actually like get an MRE, open it up, and eat it, like here in my apartment, not in the field. But there was a lot of times where they would give you an MRE, and as you can see, you got to like open it up. It's not something that you just crack open and real quick and eat. And they would like give it out and like you have 2 minutes to eat. And I remember one time specifically they said that, and I prioritized the crackers, the cheese spread, and looking for the next thing. I said fuck the entree, and I downed the peanut M&Ms. So imagine just crunching up dry crackers, like saltine crackers, cheese spread, and peanut M&Ms. Yeah, it was good.
Once they're fortified, recruits return to their training. Recruits spend up to 60 hours
Mount training?
in training known as Mount.
It's like movement, something urban terrain. Movement, yeah, they'll probably here.
Which stands for military
operations in urban terrain. It's basically like room clearing and moving in, like urban settings, between buildings, in buildings, around buildings, that stuff. You do it in teams like they're doing now.
Operations in urban terrain.
Go left, go left. One man calls door left.
Infantry.
I'm surprised to not see them having the blank adapters on their weapon. These two guys don't. The guy in the back holding his weapon at his side in the very back there, you can see he does. These guys not having it on there is interesting.
Men are expected to fight in different types of terrain and survive and win the fight. Right now, they are getting their first taste of what that's like in an urban environment.
Rolling T. All right, coming up.
Mount training is fun, but also in real life it's very terrifying, because if you're like the first guy going through a door, you have a real chance of dying, and you have to accept that, and you really hope that the dude behind you is quick, decisive, and looks at the right angle. And yeah, you put a lot of trust if you're the first guy on the second guy going in.
Operations across Afghanistan, Iraq, we are conducting clearance operations, and it's applicable wherever we go.
Boom.
It's important for the future soldiers' muscle memory, because they are working as a team with minimal communication, and they have to understand how that coordination works together.
Do it again.
You get a lot of training with this stuff. We actually kind of fun because you get like, there's one training event where we got sim rounds. So your actual weapon is designed to shoot. It's simulation ammunition, and it actually a projectile shoots out of your weapon. And it's like kind of like a chalk round, like it hits, and so you can see at the end of the day, like, oh, I got hit 5 times in the chest, I would have been dead. But it also kind of gives you something to kind of practice with rather than a blank firing adapter shooting no projectile. So you don't really understand how dangerous it is.
After 22 weeks of training, these infantrymen are ready to leave Fort Benning.
They go on Honor Hill?
Friends and family gather to watch their soldiers graduate on NOA Field.
Okay, so they missed the Honor Hill graduation, which is really cool. So when you get done with your final exercise, you go to something called Honor Hill, which is actually really cool. That's where you drink the grog and you're pinned your crossed rifles of the infantry. You're welcomed kind of into the Brotherhood, and then this is graduation. What's really, really cool, I hope they go into it, is the grass that is on, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. The grass that is on this field is made up of grass from famous battlefields all around the world. So it's got grass seed from, famous battles of like the Battle of the Bulge and like the Yadrang Valley in Vietnam. And it is so cool and so humbling to walk on the same grass and soil that your previous counterparts did years and years ago, and a lot of people died on. But this field is at the NIM, which is the National Infantry Museum there at Fort Benning, and it is an awesome place. Yeah, this is really cool.
They look like soldiers. They act like soldiers. They're carrying their head high.
So you can see that the taller guys are in the front, and then it goes from like taller to shorter going back. They're saying the infantryman's creed.
Trainees that were not alive when 9/11 happened. I think that's pretty powerful that I still can find American citizens that want to volunteer to serve their country when we continue to ask them to go to combat.
These new infantrymen don't have long to greet their loved ones.
Some of these guys must be active duty, obviously, because
say goodbye to their friends.
I went home with my parents when they were down there.
Leaving Fort Benning to begin their service in the United States Army.
Okay, that's the end of it. I was trying to find this specific scene when that guy was getting on the bus.
Say goodbye to their friends.
Hold on. He's getting on the bus. He's got a packet in his hand. Yeah, right. See that the dude right there getting on the bus right now, the packet in his hand. So if I remember they were saying basically like, if we give you a packet, you're National Guard, and you're you need to take this packet back to your unit and go home. The different type of packet for the active duty guys, basically giving them their assignment. And I remember it was kind of funny because we were standing in line to get our stuff, and when I was next, I walked up and the drill sergeant kind of like reached into the bag or the box, whatever, milk crate, and grabbed my packet, and he like looked at me and he was like so disappointed, and he's like, "Wait, you're National Guard?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Damn." He's like, "What a damn shame." And that was probably still one of the best compliments I've ever got in my life, because he thought that I had what it takes to be an infantry soldier in the active duty. I was just determined and pretty physically fit, and just put up with a lot of shit. We started with 56. We graduated like 29. A lot of shit, a lot of pain. I lost like 20 something pounds at basic training. But yeah, like I said, I learned a lot of discipline. You probably couldn't pay me enough to go back and do the same thing again. I know it's a lot different now, but I didn't really care for the people I was there with. The training was intense. You didn't eat, you didn't sleep. And yeah, like it was tough. It was wild, but it definitely put you in a mindset to survive a conflict if asked to do so. Like I even remember we were driving to one of the ranges in the bus, right? One of these big white Bluebirds, and the first sergeant was on there with us, and he was trying to give us this like motivational speech about how we're going to like Syria and stuff. This is back in like 2013, right? And so he was like, "You know what, stop the bus. And so he actually made us like stop the bus in the middle of the road, get off the bus, and like foot march, like ruck march into the training area, because he was like so motivated and stuff. It was pretty funny. But yeah, lots of funny memories, lots of good memories. I wish I could kind of go over all of them, but they're not coming to mind right now. They just kind of pop up sporadically. But if you're going to basic training, good luck. If you've done it before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Home of the infantry, Fort Benning. No other place to do it. But appreciate you guys tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next video. So carry on.